Hi, Bagu here, wishing you a happy Chinese New Year. Got my wok here. Maybe I'll cook some Chinese food tonight to celebrate. I guess it's technically the Lunar New Year, but that's also the Chinese New Year. You know, I lived in China for a few years, and I thought I would tell you what my favorite Chinese dish is. It is a dish called Da Pan Ji. It stands for Da Big, Pan plate, Ji chicken. So big plate of chicken. I know, very creative naming convention there, but Da Pan Ji does roll off the tongue. You make Da Pan Ji in something like this. Now, this is not a cooking video. I'm not going to explain it to you, but you fill it up, and it's like braised or whatever for a long time, and the chicken gets all soft, and there's potatoes in it. In China, you get it. There's like naan bread at the bottom with all the sauces. It gets all soaked in, and you eat it with the chopstick. It's so good. But my reason for bringing it up today is because I think the story behind Da Pan Ji, my favorite Chinese dish, is actually quite interesting. And it's something I wanted to tell you about. So the myth, the legend of Da Pan Ji goes that there was a Szechuan chef. Now, if you're not familiar, Szechuan, that's most of the food from China that you know is probably from Szechuan. Szechuan spices are the most common spices in China, generally speaking. Now, each region has their own cuisine, but Szechuan is kind of like the de jour, it's that de facto Chinese cuisine is Szechuan, right? Then the Szechuan spices. So, Szechuan chef moves to this province called Xinjiang. All right, Xinjiang is in the desert. It's in the far side of the country, has way different ingredients. And he wants to make an old Szechuan favorite, right? But he can only use local ingredients. And he ends up making Da Pan Ji, which is now one of the most popular dishes in mainland China. It's extremely popular. It's got its own Wikipedia page. I love it. You'd probably love it if you could ever find a place that serves it in America or wherever you live. Get it. It is so good. It is so tasty and so good. But the story, why do I like that story so much? Because it shows two things. One, the most creative, expressive things we can do is often through restrictions, right? So the Szechuan chef had a restriction, right? He or she, I don't know, only could use Xinjiang spices, right? And this is what they came up with. And it ends up being amazing, right? But the second thing is there's like a clash, a combination of cultures. And a lot of times we're stronger accepting and embracing our differences and combining them in unique ways than we are separate and divided, right? And I think that that's the beautiful fusion of Da Pan Ji with Szechuan and Xinjiang that makes something wholly unique and wonderful that me, I'm an American girl, a million miles away from China, can tell you about today. So happy Chinese New Year. Hope you have a good one.